So in the foundry sector work that we had completed in the year 2016, one of the components that was supported through the EU Switch Asia component was on finding suitable uses of one of the wastes, which was the slag coming out of the foundry sector, as to how it could necessarily be used for making paver blocks. Paver blocks is a product which is essentially bought by the government, especially at the municipality level, in order to lay the roadside borders of the roads. And it is here that the Ministry of Science and Technology has supported the initiative beyond the project duration in order to ensure that at least 10% of all the slag which is coming out of the foundry sector in India is then used as a replacement of the natural aggregates to make those paver blocks, which in turn would be bought by the local municipalities in different parts of the country. We've been seeing that bamboo is a very sustainable material, and yet despite so much of interest at the policy level in promoting bamboo, it has rather been limited to growing of bamboo and building the stock of bamboo, but very little work has been done in the area of application, where most of the jobs are. And we realize that this growing of bamboo and its applications cannot be disjointed. It needs to be built into local ecosystem through a value chain approach at a cluster model. And this would necessarily require an integrated developmental model. So having learned from one of the previous European Union project, which was also on bamboo but implemented in China, we realized that there was a similar scope in the Indian context also to scale up this kind of work. So we had initially started off with SARC Development Fund, and there, once we got that project prior to the Switch Asia project, which we had initiated only in 2 locations in India, we felt that there was need to scale that up to more locations so that we could draw the attention of the policymakers for scaling it up further in the Indian context. And there the European Union Switch Asia project came into being. Yeah, I think this most significant contribution that international agencies like European Union or United Nations can bring in is in changing the process of development, not so much the money component, because I think in the Indian context there are policies and there is also sufficient amount of money which is available with various ministries under different grant programs, etc., etc. But the way the convergence happens and the way the process is aligned to ensure that the end results are achieved through a matter of convergence and subsidiarity, I think that is something which is a big value addition, and this is something that we need to focus probably from the European Union even at a higher level. And that is something which has probably been also realized, because now in the Switch Asia 2, it has been very clearly stated that the policy component is something that we must need to focus upon right from the year 1 in order to identify the local gaps which exist in the process of actualization, rather than trying to say that new policies or new programs need to be brought in. So I guess this whole process of convergence, this process of social capital building, this process of networking at a local level, this process of linking up from local to the national level is a very critical element that probably at the European Union level we need to focus upon very strongly in future.